Hello, this is Coach Karen from Bright Prospect. I will be doing the virtual presentation. This is for the parents that weren't able to come to our parent meeting, or if you did come and you wanted a quick overview, this is for you as well. Thank you so much for clicking on our session. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. There will be a contact page at the end of our presentation. To get us started, I did want to recognize our team. This is everyone who works in Bright Prospect. We have the coaches, our executive director, chief program officer, our administrative manager, and we have a lot of the people that work behind the scenes to get our nonprofit organization funding. But yes, just a quick recognition to all of our team at Bright Prospect. To get us started, our mission is to help empower students that are low-income first generations to and through college. So we specifically work with the Pomona Unified School District, and we start as early as 9th grade, and we continue on to 12th grade in high school. Once they have completed their high school program and they go into college, we help them into college and through college as well until they graduate. So we are a to and through college access program, specifically again for the Pomona Unified School District. So if any students are in the Pomona Unified Schools, such as Diamond Ranch, Gary, Ganesha, Pomona, Village, Gary, your student is more than welcome to join our program. And it just takes an application to submit on our website at www.brightprospect.org. There is a tab where you can enroll. As soon as you submit that application, it will take us about a week or so to reach out to the student and the parents to let them know that we have received the application. But on from there, they are automatically in our system and they are automatically in our Bright Prospect program. And so with that, I did want to share some national outcomes that we have here and we're very proud of. So to kind of give you an idea of what this chart is and what we're differentiating here is the blue is specifically for our Bright Prospect students, and the orange is for the national rate across the nation. Specifically on high poverty students of color is what we are differentiating here. So we can see that in the blue, which is Bright Prospect, we have 98% of our students in the program that matriculate into college versus the 52%. So right there is a really big difference. Majority of our students do attend college, and within the persistent and retention rate, you can tell that we do have a high percentage rate as well compared to the national rate. It does decrease. We can see a pattern here until graduation. From matriculating into college to graduating college, the numbers do go down in the national outcome. However, in Bright Prospect, we still have a 88% high rate of our students graduating from a 4-year. And so this is just the outcomes that we got, the stats that we wanted to share with you to let you know that the students that we work with, the students that, we strive for success, we see it in the data. And so that's such a rewarding feeling that we wanted to share with you all. To get us started, I will be talking about the high school programming and what that looks like. What does Bright Prospect do at campuses, and what does Bright Prospect do outside of the school campus? So to start with, we do have our main programming, which are leadership academies. They are basically college readiness workshops. 9th through 10th, I'll get into it into more details, has a different programming than 11th grade and 12th grade. And again, I'll explain that in a little bit. But essentially, all of these monthly meetings are on the same day for the school. So once a month, we go into one of the 6 high schools, and we do a 1-hour workshop, and it's from 3:30 to 4:30. So we try to do it on a day that aligns every month. So Diamond Ranch will go every Tuesdays, for example. Ganesha will go every Wednesdays, and that's just an example for the month. And we always have it from 3:30 to 4:30. Now, if your student is not able to make it at their school, they are able to come to our office. We are located next to the Indoor Valley Swap Meet on Indian Hill, big entrance 3 through the glass doors. We usually send out a reminder or reach out to those who weren't able to come to our office during the makeup meetings. And again, it's from only an hour, from 4:30 to 5:30. We do close our office at 6. And if for any reason that they're not able to come to that makeup, then we will refer them to do our Google Classroom classwork assignment that they can make up that would be posted after the makeup meeting. So there are ways for the students to submit their leadership academies. This is very, very crucial and very important, specifically to the upperclassmen, as engagement is one of the things that they look for when they apply to our scholarship, which I'll talk about later in the presentation. So with that being said, leaderships are once a month. They are after school. We do it for all 6 high schools. We have makeups, and we just ask our student to communicate with us if they need more support on it. Next is crews. At Bright Prospects, we have the crews model. So we ask one student in the group of their high school, between 4 to 5 students, to have a leader. Once we have a leader, we officially have a crew. So it could be, again, a group of 4 to 5 students. Depending how big the group is, we'll have 1 to 2 crew leaders. And the crew leaders will have something called crew leader trainings that are once a month, that are twice, 2 times in the first semester and 2 times in the second semester, 4 trainings total. And this year we are super excited because we are going to have the crew leaders come up with a workshop that we are planning to host at our next annual summer academy for the students. So this one is going to be very special. We're going to have them do a lot of planning, organizing, and mobilizing. So they are mandatory. If they are not able to come, one of the crew members in their crew can sub for them, but they're also in charge of doing a worksheet called the Crew Salon, and that's just a worksheet that they have to connect with their group members, their crews, and fill out that worksheet together. So by the next time they come to the training, they submit their paper that they were given, or their assignment. So the crews model is very important. It's the importance and the objective behind this is for the students to keep each other accountable, for the students to make sure that they're always striving for success, reminding their goals, meeting up, filling out a worksheet that aligns with their goals together. Again, accountability is just really big. Us as coaches, we're here to help support your students, but we also want them to learn how to lean on each other and ask each other for help, since they see each other a lot more often than we are able to see your students. This crew model is intended for all 4 years. We are a cohort here at Bright Prospects, so we stay with your students throughout all the 4 years, from 9th grade up until senior year. And so this crew is meant to be passed on every single year within the same group, so that they are doing things together throughout the 4 years of their high school. And there are opportunities for new students to become crew leaders. That's always a question at the beginning of our first LA. And so your student will have the opportunity to become a crew leader training if they weren't a crew leader training a year prior. Additional programming that we have here is parent support. Once your student is in 12th grade, we do have a program and application that your student has to fill out called the FAFSA. It's either the FAFSA or the CADA, right? And so you and your student will learn a little bit more of that, the differences between the two financial aid applications, and we will help you one-on-one to fill out the application as well. It's a free application. You shouldn't have to pay anyone to help you with that application. So Bright Prospect does a lot of parent support to help you fill out that application. We also help students fill out scholarships, review essays for scholarships, and we have a scholarship ourselves that we give that we have open to the students that are in the program. So with that, we tell those parents that there is support for college, financial support, and we're there to guide you every step of the way. We also have field trips. We try to do a lot of campus field trips to expose students to more campuses. But we also go to museums, we go to sport games. We try to do different types of field trips to engage all of the students in the district to come together and join us at a field trip. So all Bright Prospect students from the 6 schools at the PUSC district are joining us for these field trips. It's a way to introduce other students in the program. It's a way to connect, do a lot of team building exercises and activities, and we do have a lot of fun at these field trips. We also provide lunch and a light breakfast if needed. So we will never ask students to bring their own lunch unless there's a dietary restriction, but we try to cover everything, and they're all for free. Next, we have socials. Socials are hosted at our office. It's a moment for the students to connect with other students from the PUSD district. We do have activities in these socials, but more so we just want students to connect with each other, work with each other, do activities together, and it's just a great way to meet and make new friends. Then we have recruiter visits. Recruiter visits are priority for juniors and seniors. We have different private colleges that reach Bright Prospect to meet specifically Bright Prospect students in Pomona. So if your student is in Bright Prospect and they are thinking about private colleges or have questions about private colleges, we 100% push our students to come to these recruiter visits because the recruiters are coming to us to meet your students. And so this is an opportunity for the juniors and the seniors to ask them questions. It's really more so like an interview. What does your school offer in terms of financial aid? What majors does your uh, campus, offer? What type of support? What do sports look like? So whatever questions that they have, they're able to ask, and it's also a way for them to receive any feedback that they need for what they're looking for in their essays, right? Or what are they looking for in a college candidate that's applying to the school? But it's a really great way to network and connect with these recruiters. It's a great way to learn more about the school as well. So we definitely will be pushing these out. We already have some going on right now, and the juniors and the seniors are very much well aware through the Google Classrooms, through our Instagram. Please follow us on Instagram. We are bright_prospect. We post all of our recruiter visits on there as well. So please give us a follow, and you'll see all of our private colleges that will be coming into the month of October. Lastly, we have the Pomona Valley Medical Center workshops. They are a series of workshops. I believe there's like 5 series and then a tour at the end. These workshops are actually hosted by the Pomona Valley Medical Center. The doctors come and the nurses come to host a workshop for the students. They get to learn different types of learning experiences, such as like the safeties of how vaping can affect the community, right? Vaccination. So anything that interests your student, they're more than welcome to come. At the end of the series, they do receive a certificate. This looks really great on college applications, specifically for students that are interested in the medical field, because they're showing more interest in their medical field and their application. So really great way to network and connect with doctors and nurses and to add to their college applications. Next, I'm going to go over just really quickly what each grade level covers in terms of the leadership academies that I mentioned earlier, the monthly workshops after school. We have different programming for lowerclassmen than we do for upperclassmen. You will be seeing in just a quick sec that 9th and 10th grade, we really try to focus on the soft skills. So soft skills would be more so like goal setting, how to set goals, how to keep track of your goals, time management, how to manage our time more effectively, learning what our priorities are, healthy sleeping habits that kind of go into building healthy relationships. How can we effectively communicate with our counselors, our families, our friends, how to ask for help if we need help. So it's a lot of soft skills that they need, that we want to enhance or develop, so that by junior and senior year, they kind of have those skills already. As we know, senior year is going to get very, very busy with college applications. And so, trying to get good grades, probably involved in sports or organizations of some kind or band. And so we really want them to have an understanding as to how they can manage their time, how they can set their goals, how they can keep building relationships in case they need a letter of recommendation, how to study. We're already introducing colleges in 9th grade, and we do have a model called the Tesla model. It's not the car, it's an acronym, and it's just what we teach students what they essentially need to apply to college. So T would be transcripts, E would be extracurricular activities, S would be standardized testing, L would be letters of recommendation, and A is for admission essays. So these are the 5 things that colleges will look for, and we will break down the first 3, TES, test for Tesla, in 9th grade, and 10th grade we would cover LA, which is the letters of recommendation and academic essays. So every every leadership academy is very essential. It's very crucial. And we very much encourage to tell your student to join us or at least come to our makeup so that they get some type of understanding of our workshops. For 10th grade, they're going to be letting them know the importance of getting involved in extracurricular activities just to become more of a stronger college applicant, to become more competitive, have more on their resume. Interviewing, they'll learn about interviewing, mock interviews, how to prepare for an interview. Again, they'll go over Tesla. They'll start to begin college research. So 9th grade, we're introducing the 4 types of colleges, the 4 types of institutions, I apologize, which are community college, Cal States, UCs, and privates. And we get to talk a little bit of what the differences are between the 4 of them. 10th grade, they're already researching those types of institutions. Then they start to talk about the college life, how every college differs based on their research. They'll start to see what the college life is per the colleges that they research. And then towards the end, they'll have a gratitude LA where they teach their students how to be more grateful, how to show more gratitude, and pass on gratitude. 11th grade, it becomes more doing so. So we still talk about goal settings, goals change, methods change. We start talking about majors and careers. Let's start thinking about what you want to study, what you want to become. Then they do a college overview. Okay, we did our college researches. We understand the 4 different types. Now let's overview the colleges and the Common App, which is specifically only for private schools. So they'll learn more about the application of the Common App, how to apply to privates, how to navigate the website, so that by 12th grade, they're already familiar with it. PIQs 1, Part 1 and Part 2 is very, very essential. To give a quick breakdown, it's the college essays that the UCs and that the UC specifically ask for. There's 8 questions. Your students only choose 4, whichever 4 that they want. There are certain requirements per essay, and they need to write at least a 350-word essay, depending on the question that they choose. The coaches are very well trained to help the students navigate how to write their answers or how to write their stories, how to share their stories, what proofreading they might need. And so we've very much so break it into 2 LAs because we focus on 2 in the Part 1, 2 questions, and then on Part 2, we focus on the last 2. During the summer, the juniors are able to come into our office to help them more with their PIQ so that by senior year, once the applications open in August, senior year. So the UC's applications are already going to be open. They won't be able to submit until later on. However, they won't have to start those essays from scratch because they have already technically started junior year. So these essays can help in various different ways. They can utilize some of these essays to help with some scholarships, utilize some of these essays to fill out some of the private schools. So these essays are very, very important. Very highly recommend to come to more appointments after the LAs to keep helping strengthening their essays. Then we have the flyout programs. Flyout programs are specifically from the private college aspect. There's a lot of private schools that have applications for your students to apply where they submit an application to the private school and the privates fly them in to their campus. They cover the flights, they cover the transportation from the airport to the university. Then they cover the stay at the university, they provide food, and they do sort of an orientation and an understanding of the financial aid. They have different workshops. Again, they provide the food. Everything is all paid for and covered. Realistically, all your student needs to do is just to submit that application. There are different deadlines, so we try to really get them to apply to those applications before the deadline. And we're very much on top of the upcoming flyout programs. They should have that access to their Google Classrooms as well or through their junior coaches. So once your student submits their application to our program or is already in our program, they should be receiving the the flyout programs specifically for the juniors. There's more opportunities for the juniors around this time. So again, it's very important to already have had that programming as early as 9th grade. But if your student is barely joining Bright Prospect in 11th grade, no worries at all. We are here to support them, but we really want to just have them explore all their options. The flyout program is one of the best and most exciting options that we can tell our students to do so. Lastly, senior year, we do a lot of hands-on doing because college season is open. We help our students create accounts for their college applications. And then LA's number 2 and 3, we start filling in the applications. So it does take 2 leadership academies. It does not take 1 hour to apply to all the schools. Realistically, it doesn't even take 2 hours, right? Since each leadership academy is 1 hour. But between those times, there is a lot of one-on-ones with the senior coaches to follow up on applying to a college application. So with this, if the student is still working on the essays, if they're still working on applications, this is really the time where the coaches are walking around helping students. Laptops are out. We always tell the student, please bring your Chromebook, come prepared, come ready. And if you need more time, if you need more help, book a one-on-one with us. Then they will have, after they're done with submitting their applications, they do their FAFSA. The FAFSA opens around the same time as a college application, but in order to submit the FAFSA, you need to submit what schools you're applying to. So we always encourage the students to apply to their colleges first and then submit the FAFSA because the FAFSA deadline isn't until March 2nd. Something that I want to make very clear is that it's not on a first come, first served basis for FAFSA. Just because one family submitted as early as October does not mean that that student will receive the most money, because the money that FAFSA and CATA is for dreamers, students who are undocumented, students who don't have a social security. It's typically the same application. The only difference is California Dream Act does not have federal funding for the students. But for both applications, students will receive money based on parents' income on the taxes that they reported 2 years prior. Okay, so let me just repeat that. FAFSA will be determined on income from the family based on what they reported on the taxes 2 years prior. And it's also dependent on household size. It's not based on who submitted first. I want to make that very clear because Bright Prospect prioritizes students to finish their college applications. It's super important to focus on college applications so that they have a strong application to submit, and then they can worry about the financial aid afterwards, right? So once they do that, then they move on to FAFSA and they submit FAFSA. They've submitted their college application, they've submitted FAFSA. Second semester in the spring is when they're going to start hearing back from their colleges. So once they have been accepted to a college, let's say your student gets into Cal State Fullerton will then afterwards give their student an financial aid award. This is just an estimate of what they're projecting to give your student if they attend their college. So then they'll give you a breakdown of what type of money that they'll be giving your student, whether they're grants, scholarship, loans. We will break down those numbers with you and give you just an estimate of how much your student might possibly be receiving versus how much they possibly might have to owe back to the institution. So we try to go over all the universities and colleges that they get accepted to just to see all their options on their financial aid. And the student and the parent or guardian are then responsible to choose which college or university is the best fit for them. We do our best to try to read those financial aid letters with you and with the student and the parents or guardians. And so this is more of a one-on-one as well. So your student will get an understanding of how to read it, but will be encouraged to set one-on-ones with us, and the parents and the guardians are encouraged to come as well to understand the financial aid letter. Any questions on this, please reach out to us at the end. I know there might be some questions that you may have for us. We encourage you to ask us those questions. Last thing that I do want to bring up, starting from 9th grade, end of the year survey, right at the end, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade all have an end of the year survey. This is the last Leadership Academy where all grades come together at our high schools. They do a survey together at the end. We are responsible to read the survey. It's just feedback that we ask from your students on how we can bring more programming to them, or what type of feedback they gave us versus if it was helpful, what wasn't helpful. So this end of the year survey is really special because we get to hear from your students, but we also have an opportunity to have everyone come together. And it's our last end of the year Leadership Academy. So end of the year is very, very important. Again, if any of these meetings are conflicting with your student schedule, please have them reach out to us to do a makeup. Now I'm going to go over the Bright Prospect Scholarship. I talked about it a little bit in the previous slides, but the Bright Prospect Scholarships does have requirements. In order for a student to be eligible, they do need to be engaged. So engagement what engagement means is for students to come to the Leadership Academy, specifically only Leadership Academies, but we do want to see that they have more engagement in our additional programming, such as our field trips or socials. But realistically, what we do look at is if they're coming to those workshops, right? So engagement is a really, really big part of it. The next thing that we look for is a need. Do they have a financial need? So once we see the letters that they have received from their universities or colleges on their financial aid package, sometimes our students have a gap where the college or the university is giving your student some type of money to help pay, but there might be a gap in between that might have to come out of your pocket or the student's pocket. And so to help relieve some of that gap, we do have a scholarship that your student is able to apply. Here are some of the students that benefited from our scholarship. We are very proud of them. We are super excited to see where they are now. Some of them have already graduated from college. Some of them is their first year in college. And we're just very excited to see that a lot of our students did benefit from this scholarship. If you have any questions, please let us know. This is the application. Here's the QR code that you can scan, or you can go onto our website again at brightprospect.org/enroll. You may submit that application through this website. Again, as soon as it's submitted, they're automatically in the program, and it will take us about a week or so to reach back to your student to let them know that they have been enrolled in our program. Here's our Chief Program Officer, Mr. Kevin Lamoa. This is his contact information. So if you have any questions, if you have any concerns or any type of questions, we really encourage you to connect with us and let us know. We are open Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 6 p.m. So if by any means you may be able to call us, if we don't answer, we will reach back to you as soon as we can. Thank you so much for joining this recording, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.